He decides, hey, you know what? I'll marry her. Hello there, and welcome to another commentary brought to you by your friendly neighborhood spreader. This is another Monday Night Combat commentary, and as you can guess, this is going to be another Assassin Shenanigans gameplay. Classic gold armor, silver rate of fire, and bronze regenerate. You'll never need another build again, frankly. And this time I'm going to talk about something that any subscriber to my channel may not realize about me. Something that you would never guess about me if you just think that I mostly play video games and love them and write about them. And that is, I also like anime and manga. At one point when you know, I just like anime and manga, really. I joined a club in high school, joined a club in college, met lots of friends that way, watched a lot of free anime because of, you know, the old communism sharing thing. And in general, every season I follow the newest anime that everyone's watching with the help of friends, word of mouth, and 4chan. Mainly A, of course. So yeah, I'm not sure what your opinion of anime is. For all I know, you think I'm a weeaboo for liking some weird Japanimation shit, but me, I've always admired anime. Anime in general just seems to have a stronger story, more unique stories, and hooks. I think one of my favorites. Well, I can't describe one of them right now. That'd be too early in the commentary, but Japan in general with how they animate stories and such. They always branch out with much more elaborate ideas. Things like, let's go down the list of my favorite animes, all-time favorites. For example, there is Seto no Hanayome. I don't know what that translates to into English, but I do know that it is mainly about a boy who almost drowns and is saved by a mermaid. But not just any mermaid. It turns out in this universe, mermaids are like Yakuza. And since his life was saved by a foolish young mermaid, he must now deal with the consequences. The consequences being, since she revealed herself to him, she must now surrender herself to death. And of course, the main hero doesn't like that. So instead of having her die for strange mermaid reasons, he decides, hey, you know what? I'll marry her. I'll marry her. If I'm a part of her family, then her secret technically was not revealed to outsiders. So thus begins a crazy story about a boy, a mermaid, and the consequences of dealing with gangsters. It had a lot of great slapstick humor. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's around 3, 4 years old, maybe even older, but it's still on my hard drive. I like dipping back into it every now and again if I feel like enjoying if there's nothing good on TV anyways. Another one was last spring. Last spring was Angel Beats. Another good story behind that one. Basically dealing with the afterlife in a mysterious world and lots of teenagers who died without leading very fulfilling lives, and so they came to this weird afterlife in the shape of a high school. I probably shouldn't go too deep into describing these animes, but you know, you gotta fill up these commentaries somehow. Another favorite was Gurren Lagann, just balls to the wall action. It slowly goes from an underground village to the surface, where they experience the surface for the first time, and the enemy. Uh, it's a mecha anime, so they go from okay, picture this. At the beginning of the anime, they go from robots the size of small buildings to midway, robots the size of skyscrapers to robots. Let's see, robots the size of Hmm, I guess a battleship would be a good analog to compare it to. Oh, I know. Battleships the size of cumulonimbus clouds. Those things are huge. And slowly we start getting to robots the size of planets, and then eventually we get to robots that are pretty much the size of a galaxy. And these robots are duking it out with their fists, with drills, with weapons. It just gets all kinds of epic. And it is my all-time favorite. Um, you know, from that description, if you don't think it's awesome, then there's something wrong with you. Come on. But I suppose I've been talking about my favorites. Let me talk about the animes that I've really liked this past fall. I mean, at least the ones I followed this past fall. By the way, this right part, right here, I was just baiting him. I did not know what he was thinking. I guess he really wanted a revenge kill of some sort for taking out his jackpot. And I'm just like, whatever, dude, come on in. I'd love to introduce you to my friend, Rocket Turret. Anyways, this past fall, let's see what I can talk about this past fall. Panty and Stocking. You probably remember Powerpuff Girls, right? Powerpuff Girls. Genndy Tartakovsky. Very unique art style. Same vein of Dexter and stuff. Panty and Stocking, as my friend describes it, is basically if Genndy Tartakovsky traveled to Japan, got on acid, and started animating a new cartoon. Now also be sure to picture that this anime has adult humor and very stylish cutscenes and action sequences. That is Panty and Stocking in a nutshell. It's about two angels who were kicked out of heaven and their shenanigans and destroying mysterious ghosts, or like I like to call them demons, and trying to work their way back into heaven because they hate it on Earth. Also is MM. MM is one of the lamer animes that you could use as an example. It's, you know, it's your typical romance harem anime. The hook is that actually the main character is a masochist, and he doesn't want to be a masochist. He finds it very embarrassing. And most of the characters in the anime have various character flaws, like androphobia, fear of men, seriously bad childhood, missing out on their childhood because they are a child genius. You know, the list goes on and on. I wouldn't say it's the best anime ever, but I like the character development at least. You can always respect character development. There's also another one I liked, Invade, Squid Girl, or as they call it in Japan, or as I always refer to it by its Japanese name, Shinyak. You know what? No, I'm not gonna bother. It's just Invade. Invade, Squid Girl. Have you ever heard of Sergeant Frog or Kiroro Guso? That's basically an alien frog who invades Earth. This frog is like a little mascot kind of style, and Invade Squid Girl is basically the same idea, except it's an actual girl. She has squid-like qualities like a hat and hair tentacles, and that is a very embarrassing blackjack death. And oop, printer's freaking out. The humor in Squid Girl is, I think, is hilarious. It's some hilarious slapstick. It's just, you know, your typical reaction comedy, implausible situations, just all around. It also helps that the main character is hilarious and adorable. It's just this little girl who wears a squid hat with squid tentacles on her hair, and the improbable situation she gets into as she tries to conquer land. I call that a win-win situation, you know, especially for zany characters, you know. And let's see, lastly is Ore no Imoto, blah 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 blah. Or I just call it, most people just shorten it as Ore no Imo. It's basically my little sister can't be this cute. And basically it's about the male lead who has never been particularly close to his little sister. And one day his little sister comes up to him and asks for help, life counseling lessons. And it's where here we find out that the perfect little girl that everyone looks up to, she's on track and field, she's a model, she's just academic excellence. We find out that she actually has a little sister a little sister complex. She is an otaku. She is a weeaboo, like me. Except all of her anime interests revolve around little girls for some reason. Little sisters, more specifically. And so the main character has to deal with getting his little sister to adjust, become more open about her hobby. Basically, she's embarrassed about it, and she doesn't want to be. It's a very nice story. Uh, little sister goes from very embarrassed about her hobby, though still very proud, to actually meeting other people, other like-minded people, making friends, anime-oriented friends, and even following her dreams about anime. It's a very touching story. Nice character development, incredible colors. The first time I watched it, I was like, wow, what is up with these colors? My laptop does not do HD. I can upload HD, but these colors are just eye-popping and really nice on the eyes. So, yeah, I've just run my mouth about my favorite animes and the animes I've been watching. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay at least. I'm not sure if you watch anime or not, but be aware that I love anime. I watch it whenever I can. I pretty much watch anime as much as I play video games. Pretty much your archetype nerd. So the game is wrapping up here. We've just got the scoreboard to look at. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I know I did. This has been your friendly neighborhood strider, and thanks for watching. Peace out.